All right, good morning, everybody. We got the NASDAQ jumping this morning. Not really. It's about a little less than 1/4%, but it's at least in the right direction. We kind of had a very interesting end to yesterday. Very interesting indeed. Um, that's weird. Come on. Okay, there we go. So, okay, I guess we're gonna do this. Oh, I'm stuck inside of that blue band. That's funny. There we go. Okay. Hey, what's up, Rob? Yeah, happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Um, now I'm just frustrated. My whole point is this big red candle right here is directly after the market close. Took us took us down fairly big, pretty much wiping out all of the day's gains, and we closed pretty much at the high, right about there, and we spiked up a little bit and then just crashed all the way back down. Boom. Luckily, we haven't crashed too much since then, but I'm not sure if that's just because this is what happens in the futures markets. The futures markets closed, I think, 15 minutes after the regular session. I think it's so market makers can settle their positions, and they decided to, or someone decided to just offload a ton of Nasdaq futures contracts right at the close, meaning they didn't want to do it during regular market hours. So it's like, yeah, thanks, guys. And that's kind of what happened there. So maybe a non-event, but always a little scary to me when stuff like that happens. Usually implies the market makers either don't have a lot of confidence in the run and they don't see it continuing higher. Um, that's usually what happens most of the time. From what I've seen, I don't always look at the end of the day for what the market makers do, but when I see big moves like that, it's usually not a good thing. So that's an interesting effect. We'll see how the market plays it out today on a Friday. That is pretty much so far one of the higher closes. We haven't closed the day yet, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this was last Friday, right? Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Friday. This was Friday. So this was last Friday. We ended up having a fairly large sell-off, although I think that was also an options expiration last Friday, so that may not that extra volume may be attributed to that. We'll have to wait and see. But so far, a pretty decent turnaround this morning. But I just figured I'd mention that because I was looking at it yesterday, and I, I I was looking over here, then I was looking back at my other screen on the left, and I came back to this screen, which is on my right, and I'm like, oh, how come this line just moved way down here? Anyway, yeah, that's why that happened. So, um, all right, Tesla looks like it's pulling in a little bit. Coop really didn't get too much farther after yesterday, and still may try to reverse it here, but so far Luna a little bit lower. Anik on earnings having a nice spike up. It's a nice move. I did not sleep good last night. Atlassian. Wait a minute. Okay, there's light. There's gold. So gold gapped up again. So yesterday it closed above the trend line. That would have been an entry signal. I would have liked volume to be significantly higher, at least double on a trend line break like that. Morning, Justin. Well, sometimes you just take the signals that you're given. So we got gold edging up here and in a somewhat bullish tape with a somewhat edging up gold, which is a little interesting. Silver's up 2.43%. Fairly large gap for silver. Hmm. Always interesting when you see gold and silver start to rally through a little minor resistance area. See if it's just maybe a bull trap. How's Skyworks doing? Skyworks no pullback as of yet. Just continues going higher right now, it seems. A shakedown the other day. They just set the date for the earnings over here and they crashed. That's funny. So take a look at the global watch list. Illumina taking a beating today. Yep, looks like it's earnings. Protolabs, Hexo. Amazon gapped way down, coming right back today. That is good. That is a good sign. That's a very good sign. That's a buy-all gap down, it looks like, in Amazon. Bounced low after the earnings report, right back up the entire time. You can't be too mad at Amazon. You just never can, to be honest with you. The thing's still going to double in price someday. That's the thing. You're going to see a $3,000 Amazon price someday. Pretty much guaranteed. Let's go see what's up today. All right, Anik, as we know, popping on earnings. Nice extensions up here. Hard to buy up 27% though. Vips. Okay, there's a double bottom. Double bottom base on Vips right here. And that's your buy point. So you're up about 19% on this one today. Looks like you had a small consolidation here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, that almost that qualifies as a flat base, but this would be a base on base pattern. This would not be. So this is a base on base pattern, which is, these are really good. Up about 9%. So kind of far out to be taking on positions here in VIPs. Usually you don't want to buy further out than 5%. That's a nice pattern though. That's good price action. I don't know why I didn't notice it. We don't look at VIPs that often. Only remember glancing at it a couple of times. Sometimes those patterns like that get past me. Charter, big move up. ENDP. So we're seeing some kind of weird little names leading us today. Probably going to cut the stream in about 20 minutes, guys. I'm going to be alone with the kids this morning, and yesterday was a little bit too close on time for me. Goose. If I remember right, this is a fashion company. 15 to 72 with a quickness. And then back down here to 39. If Eli was here, he would tell me he saw everybody with Goose coats in New York. Ring. Looking pretty good. I like the consolidation. Looks like it may be trying to get froggy here. Accelerated volume yesterday out of... This is a pretty good little setup here. Let's go take a look at Ring on some IBD stuff. .94 relative strength rating, and A on the composite, which is weird. How come I can't? Okay. Oh, same industry group as Court. Ooh. And we all know about Court. That's one of the ones we're following this over here in this little consolidation. Popping up right now, it appears. Oh, it looks like volume's a little bit muted. So, NASDAQ trying and about to possibly break into new highs. We're knocking on that door really hard, actually. Well, I don't know about hard. We're knocking on the door, and I'm not sure if we're going to give you the grand prize from the Publishers Clearinghouse or it's going to home invade you. I'm not sure what it's going to do. I think everybody's waiting for the breakup to see what happens, to be honest with you. So Court playing with this alert level, and we just saw another member of the sector with a pretty good pattern in Ring. Let's see if I can get Ring. Straight up Ring. Hey, morning, Eli. Just talking about you. Promise nothing but bad stuff. Wow, Ring is not on IBD. RING. Says it's on the NASDAQ, not on IBD. They have a chart for it. But I don't have stock checkup for Ring. That is weird. I've never seen that before. Let's go to FinViz. I'm just playing with you. No, we were looking at Goose for a minute. Is it GOOS? Yeah. No? Yeah, Goose. And mention, I remember, I think it was last winter you mentioned the coats. You mentioned the coats all over New York. That's what I was talking about. Overall view on the market right now, cautiously bullish. Cautiously bullish right now. I mean, obviously cautious because we're still not seeing a tremendous amount of leadership, but bullish because we haven't broken down yet and we're able to maintain these elevated levels. We don't have a broad market rally. That's another reason to be cautious. Oh, really? Your friend that doesn't do cryptos? Talk about XRP. XRP is interesting. It's interesting because it's underneath lows from long time. And I guess I'll have to go to Bitcoin chart. Oh, I happen to be on XRP. That's funny. Yeah, no, okay, I want a long-term XRP chart. Maybe Bitfinex? Maybe. No. PCB down another 23%. I told you to short them, Rob. I miss you, Eli. I gotta say, man, that is some high-class dino poop, though. Just gotta throw it out there. It's good stuff. Market cap XRP? What is that? Interesting. They have a market cap on XRP? Can I do that with ETH? They got ETH. Oh, they got market cap ETH. What about something garbage like Ren? Doesn't look like it. ETH market cap. That's weird. So only a few of them. Well, anyway, so here's XRP. I'm not super mad at XRP, and I don't. This chart doesn't actually. Maybe it's accurate. Maybe it's not. I mean, what is market cap? So it's not straight price valuation. If you look at XRP longer term right here, it actually has been in the sideways. See, XRP goes sideways for a long time and then pops usually. Don't like consensus hype. Yeah, I concur with you on that. It's not a good thing. Sometimes it is. It's rare though. You kind of have to. I don't know. You almost have to. Consensus hype usually precedes parabolic moves. That's the good part about consensus hype. The bad part about consensus hype is everything else. There we go, Bitstamp. Okay, so I guess it's pretty much the same chart, although we have undercut recent lows here. I'm not extraordinarily bearish on XRP. We've been able to maintain, for the longest time we were looking like throughout here, and even over here we're looking at right where it is now, this 28-cent level to hold. And we spiked beneath it a few times. We're kind of coming back through it. So it tried going lower and didn't go lower. So it may just go higher. How much higher and when it actually rallies is a different issue though, because we know XRP every month they're trying to sell, what is it, like 50 million XRP in their different and various trust accounts. Yeah, so interesting there, but I'm not it's not dead in my book. I'm not super mad at it, but I'm just waiting for some better price action. We caught a really good rally right here, smoking good rally right there, off of this little setup, and we just haven't had anything like that yet in XRP in a while. But Bitcoin popped up out of its weird little thing, this little drop down. It popped back up in low volume, so that's going to be interesting. I'm looking to go through the charts later. Interested to see what they're going to show. INMD had an inside day yesterday. Broke the range lower this morning. Is it broken? I would argue no. I don't think it's broken. I think it just broke out. It just broke out, so I think at this stage of the game, you're kind of looking for this. You're looking for this point to fail, I think. Not necessarily the range of just one bar. You may get a nicer consolidation here under 32 and then may see some further upside action. But INMD, I mean, it did just break out, so it's giving you an opportunity to get in if you didn't get in the other day at about the $30 level, 36. Breakout points there at 29 and 40, whatever. So there's an opportunity here, but you can look for some accumulation signs. I was looking at this yesterday. I didn't look at this towards the end of the day, but I was looking at it in the middle of the day, right about here, thinking it was maybe coiling to pop up, but it looks like it just petered lower and the coil ended, right about there. So we'll see. I don't know about dead, but like I said, the market coming up to highs. I think there's people kind of walking on eggshells right now thinking that the market's going to fall over, and it may not. I mean, there's no guarantee it's going to fall over because of X or Y. The main thing for me is that how's everything doing? Are things loosely falling apart? Are things loosely getting better? Or are they greatly falling apart and greatly getting better? I'd say right now it's loosely staying together, which is kind of like saying partly cloudy. Because if it's partly cloudy, isn't it also partly sunny? So I don't know why you would preface it with cloudy. I think preface is the wrong word, but you get my drift. You get my drift there. So yeah, I think people are kind of loosely cautious here, but they are taking positions, and it's just been a little bit choppy. But we're seeing some names move, like Charter here, moving out of a big base all year and actually been pretty good. Not one we've been greatly following, but nice move on earnings today. Nvidia is so fun. So I don't think the market's too bad here. The market usually rallies into the end of the year, and it is October. October to April is the best time of the year to invest in historically. Everyone tries to maneuver for end of year and stuff like that. And again, we haven't broken down yet. We've had a lot of time for China FUD. We've had 3 different market corrections due to China FUD, and we're still up here. So it's kind of like we've been hit in the face a few times, but we're still in the round. And I don't think you can count us out quite yet. Not yet. Held this trend line. We've held a number of higher lows, and yeah, we may get a shakeout at some point. But oddly enough, we haven't had too much China FUD news lately. I think Trump's trying to keep all that at bay. I think he's really working on getting a deal without, because I think he's a little worried about the election coming up in a year. Personal opinion on that, but mainly it's the price action that kind of keeps me more bullish than not. PCG is at the what's the company name? PG&E, yeah, PG&E, right? Yeah, PG&E. Yeah, tons of lawsuits on PG&E. Yeah, that'd have been a great short right there, wouldn't it? 2 years ago, short this thing from 60 to 5. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe see what probably likely to go lower here. Just look at this massive H pattern on the weekly. Bear flag to a huge H pattern. I mean, I don't know if you want to short this thing to 0, but it looks like it wants to go visit. That's crazy. I don't know much about their finances, but I do know that they're paying out tons of settlements. I don't even know how they caused the fires, to be honest with you. I'm not particularly sure on that. NVIDIA, yeah, it is looking pretty good over recent resistance, and we're just kind of chilling right now. Earnings are coming up, and we're seeing some decent pops on earnings. Earnings in about 2.5 weeks or so. Is that what caused this new one? I thought they were pretty on top of that this year. I just saw a headline too that they ended up with a pretty big fire going on right now. Yeah, the one last year, Rob, it was. I think it was a PBS documentary on it, which I think it was Nova, and they always do excellent work. Try to catch it if you're interested. You should be able to Google it. You can get it online. But yeah, there's another California wildfire. I'm just not sure what. There you go. Okay. Well, wildfire breaks out in Northern California wine country. Yeah, it's pretty windy over here in Arizona too. Yesterday it was crazy. At least for Arizona. So I'm pretty sure some of those winds are coming from or affecting California as well. California utility PG&E reports equipment problem near Kincaid fire. Is that what they're calling the new one? Kincaid fire? And what could be here's an article for you. And what could be another devastating blow to PG&E Corp, the troubled utility told the California regulators that a transmission tower malfunctioned near a spot where the Kincaid fire ignited in northern Sonoma County. Yeah, Santa Ana's are up now, yeah. Is this just from these guys not maintaining equipment? Bye, cakes. Huh. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. They may be screwed. They're already at 5. So them going to 3 would be a really good, what is it? PCG. Yeah. Shorting from 5 down to 2 would be a pretty nice short from a percentage basis. Yeah, the problem is they're still going to get sued, though, Rob. That's the thing. And from an investor's perspective, you're like, oh yeah, so what's a what's a put on PG&E these days? Let's go out to January. $6 put to go to 3 is going to give you $3. You're going to pay $2 for it. That's going to be a 33% gain. I may as well just short it generally at those prices. Because is. Yeah, it's about a 40% gain for you on that one. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to see too much buying of PG&E down here. That could be an interesting short. Speaking of utilities, our buddy BEP was down yesterday like 2%. Your friendly neighborhood global utility for green energy. Looks like a little bit of distribution stepping into this massive stock chart there, and a pretty good candle too to boot. Pretty good volume. PFPT, okay, lower on earnings. There you go. So it takes that one out of the runnings for right now. Twitter firmly lower. Booking. Buddy Coop, how are you doing this morning after opening? Okay, so you cut back in a little bit, but you're doing okay so far. What's Tesla doing? Up 1%. Very nice. Tesla holds this gap. That's going to be beautiful going forward. And our buddy Court poking above our trend line today on nothing volume. Basically, someone sneezed and this thing popped up. Like a little bit more, like a little more volume. But Court breaking that trend line is interesting. All right, guys, I'm going to have to get going here in a little bit. Is there anything else you want me to take a look at? We can go through the top ones real quick. Go through Apple, Amazon. Amazon with a gap down, but coming back higher here. Nice overnight. And so far today. So far, so good for a rebound here. Apple still sticking at recent highs. Nothing's changing there. They're still making iPhones, last I heard. That hasn't changed. Apple, Amazon, Google. I haven't been on Google today, but I'm sure it's still there. Amazon, yeah, I do think it's kind of a buyable opportunity, to be honest with you. I kind of do think that. At least for longer term. For shorter term, I'm not sure if it's going to rip rally higher from here. But if you're interested in Amazon longer term, I think some of these moves could be opportunistic because, Amazon isn't going anywhere. They basically have a monopoly on e-commerce and even data centers, and that's not going anywhere. So, and the market responded in kind here too. They dropped it down here really quick. Looks like in one candle, and then started buying over here. So, yeah, I think so. I think for longer term accumulation though. For shorter term trading, it's a little more of a gamble for shorter term trading. You're still under some trend lines. There's a lot of price pressure around there, but for the long term, I don't mind buying stuff like this in companies like Amazon. Speaking of longer term, Tesla, Tesla doing super good. Finally had a surprise earnings of positiveness, and the market responds with a massive move up. Eli, I'm sure you saw that one. I'm not sure if you're around, but we were talking about this cup and handle. I actually bought some raw Tesla. I'm actually a holder of Tesla stock now, and I actually added to my position on this gap up. So I'm now a net long holder of Tesla stock, and probably will hold that position for very long periods of time. Hopefully years as we get up towards $1,000 or something like that, whenever that happens. But yeah, I think Amazon's pretty good for longer term. Tesla's good for longer term. Some of these innate market leaders. Yeah, it worked out well. Anyone else get it on that early breakout point over there? Or even that standard breakout point would have been pretty good. Although I know we talk about not buying before earnings, but if you're trying to go, multi-year, multi-cycle time frames, you have to embrace the earnings. Yeah, Apple all-time highs. Right? All-time highs back from that lows of last year, 145. 67% running Apple. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. Had a nice little bull flag consolidation, a retest, and then then it's been off to the races. Yeah, me too. Good, Eli. Me too. It's a pretty decent portion of my portfolio. What do you got there, bud? Hi. Good morning. You got your mom's jacket on?
Yeah, 'cause it's cold outside.
It is cold outside.
Can you zip it up?
Sure. Actually, you need to get dressed. Okay, you can play for a little bit, but you got to get dressed in about 15 minutes. Okay? We're going to start getting ready for the day. I'm glad you're up, though. Makes my job easy. There you go. All right. I think it's pretty cool being 5 and able to walk in your mom's clothes. You're too heavy, Eli. I don't know. Throughout my entire life, I've never taken a very long position on. I've taken very long positions, but I haven't held those big positions for long periods of time. And then looking back on some of them, it was a good idea. There were some companies I wanted to take good positions on and didn't, and it worked out fine. Obviously thought about it on Amazon and Apple in a number of circumstances, and those would have done really well. It's interesting, those very, very clear companies, I just think they work. Intuitive Surgical. I mean, they've been a leader for 15 years in what they do. I mean, Apple has been a leader since early 2000s, 15 years. Amazon has been very clear on their goal, and no one has really launched a viable competitor to Amazon. Jet.com for a minute, but that ended up not doing much. But yeah, really, just all these companies. I think Tesla's one of them. I think these very clear, different companies that dominate their industries, I think you can hold those for multi-year, maybe even decades. I mean, you don't know where Tesla's going to end up. Maybe Elon will buy it private one day. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. Maybe one day he'll wrap SpaceX into Tesla. I have no idea, but yeah, I think Tesla's kind of a rare-ish opportunity. Even at $250, even at $300, got a hefty price tag though these days. So, I mean, it's interesting. The question you got to ask yourself a little bit is this with Tesla, and I've asked myself, I don't have a great answer for this yet. When you look at companies by market cap, kids are up. I'll stay a little bit longer. When you look at things by market cap, you got Apple, you got Microsoft. Almost everyone in the world uses Apple and Microsoft. Amazon, I don't think not so much in the world. I don't know if they have a UK presence at all. Actually, I don't know that actually. But Alphabet, everyone in the world uses Google. Everyone in the world uses Facebook. You have all these companies that everyone in the world uses, right? These guys, like everyone uses these almost every day. I've got an iPhone. My computer runs Microsoft. I use Amazon. I Google every day. Like this is part of our everyday life. Can Tesla be up here? Oh, okay. They're massive in the UK. Okay, so yeah, global presence. Thanks, Justin. All these global presences. Berkshire Hathaway, obviously global global company. Alibaba, big global company. JP Morgan Chase, Visa, global. I mean, global. When you look at Tesla, last time I saw it was like a 40, 50 billion market cap, 54 billion market cap. Can you include Tesla and when up here at a 10 bagger, 500 billion market cap? That's the question. That's the question right there. China probably doesn't use Amazon. Yeah, they also don't use Google. And I'm not sure, but they probably steal Microsoft software. So, and obviously Microsoft, Apple, Amazon in different leagues. But you know, in 10 years, I mean, can you get a 10 bagger out of Tesla? I would argue they have a lot more growth to do. If you get five or so gigafactories going on, and they can have, you know, 1 or 2 gigafactories going a year and still have positive free cash flow, and have the diesel out there, and they have, I mean, just these massive plans that they have. But they will absolutely dominate the auto industry. No auto manufacturers even coming close. Those guys are still talking about building their initial electric car. Elon's talking about building robot taxis across the globe. I mean, how do you compete with that? I don't know how you compete with that. That is a game changer, and that may put them right back up in here. If everyone's buying Teslas and doing robot taxis, and they got the semi truck with automated driving and you know, fleet logic where they can bump right up against each other and extend mileage, and I mean, it's crazy. And then if Elon's right about his utility side being as big as his car side, then yeah, absolutely, I think you see Tesla with a 10 bagger from here, 500 billion. You know, if you're doing, I don't know, how much is Tesla doing in sales a year right now? They're doing 25 billion. Tesla's doing 25 billion in sales. So if they can start doing, you know, is this annually? I think it's annually. If they can start doing 100 billion in sales, you know, then I think you're going to be in a pretty good spot. Yeah, see what's I don't know, maybe Google sales 148 billion. Obviously probably a much larger margin. How come we don't know Google's margin, for crying out loud? That's weird. 250 billion in sales. Yeah, see what's GM do? 145 billion in sales. Oh, do you, Justin? Yeah, they're everywhere here in Arizona. I see them all the time, every day. Every day. Anyway, that's kind of my general thought. That is true, Eli. That is a slight concern of mine. Not really for longer term prospects. Eli always delivers, or Elon. I don't know about Eli. But one thing, Elon is consistent. He delivers what he wants to do. That has been consistent. He's never failed to actually deliver. He's failed to deliver on time, but we have electric cars. We have the Model 3. We've got everything. So I think, he's saying, I think his timelines are getting better, but the automated driving is truly a difficult challenge. But if he can nail that, man, oh my gosh. If he can nail automated driving down, that's a massive game changer. I think the chip will perform well. I think the chip is probably the most benign thing that they're doing. A chip they just have to meet these requirements. Like, okay, we need to compute this much data this fast with this much power, and they've done that. I think so. I think they've done that, and I think chip design at this stage is pretty mature. Yeah, when he gets Robotaxi, that place will be rolling in cash. Are you kidding me? With that business model that they have, and actually their insurance thing, I'm actually not too mad. I was giving them crap about Tesla insurance. I was giving them a little bit of crap about Tesla insurance, and it's a little bit of a gamble, but I think he's done his homework, and I don't know, it may give him some tax advantages to having an insurance company. In the same way that Warren Buffett has tax advantages with Berkshire Hathaway. If you guys aren't familiar with that, I think that maybe, I don't know what his plan is with the insurance overall. He's not going to start a Warren Buffett type of a company. I'm not saying they're going to start doing investments with Tesla, but maybe it gives him some kind of an advantage due to the fact that he will have to hold cash in reserve. And I don't know if he's allowed to commingle funds in that way. Maybe, Elon does like to fudge the rules a little bit. And so maybe this will give him, maybe this is one of the reasons why he's positive on his earnings. I don't know. I'm not a big CPA or something like that. But anyway, the whole point here is that, I mean, look at the stuff Tesla does, and it's big, and you can't discount that. And with a vision, you know, all these CEOs, these billionaire CEOs, they all have visions, and they're getting bigger and bigger. We first started out with Microsoft's vision to put a desktop or a computer in everyone's desktop, and that's been realized. And you know, Steve Jobs wanted to build cool stuff. He did that. You know, Jeff Bezos. I don't think anyone completely foresaw what's happened with Amazon, obviously, in terms of cloud computing and such. And then now you got Elon Musk that says, hey, we're going to be doing automated cars. We're going to be renting them. We're going to be going to space, and it's going to be all electric. It's like, come on, man, seriously? And then here we are 10 years later, and the guy delivers. Hard to bet against the guy that delivers. That's kind of all I'm saying about that. And he's doing stuff to make the world more friendly for these endeavors. He built the supercharger. I mean, not too many people talk about the superchargers, but that makes it. That was actually one of the main barriers for 99% of people, is that, oh, where am I gonna charge my car at? Where's the damn map? Where's the map? They took the map off the homepage here for charging. You can charge there. I mean, and it's like almost anywhere. You know? Exactly, Eli. It's the first step. And that's the whole point. I think that's why it's great. I really think that's why it's great, because it is the first step. Well, I think that's why he's doing insurance. That's one of the reasons. So again, he's making it easier for himself. He built this infrastructure. Tesla built this. This wasn't government mandated. Government didn't. I don't think government subsidized this. I could be wrong, but I don't think government subsidized any of this. I don't think, like, I legitimately think that he's getting all the roadblocks out of his way. He's getting all the roadblocks. So, okay, you want an electric car? Where am I going to charge it? Boom, supercharging stations. What's your next objective? I want to do autonomous driving. Oh, well, what the hell are the insurance companies going to do with that? Okay. Boom, Tesla insurance. What's your next objection? He's removing the objections. He's removing them. They're slowly being removed. That's where I think Tesla insurance is headed, is that he can do autonomous driving, sell his cars, self-insure, and as everyone knows, well, I'm not sure if everyone does know this, but self-insuring is the cheapest form of insurance. So this guy takes the cheapest route to everything that he does, and he's doing the same with self-driving, taking insurance out of it. So when you do autonomous driving, he stated Tesla is probably going to have to shoulder the burden for the insurance requirement. And I think that's super smart, because if you think about it, and if he's correct, and if these are safer than human drivers, you can have he can hire a few actuaries and run these numbers, but based on a 50% death rate or 50% crash rate. And then his insurance will not only be cheaper, but because he's self-insuring, it will be even cheaper. In the same way that he's doing with the rocket technology and doing reusability. He's bringing rocket costs down from $60 million a launch to $10 million a launch. Going to get it down to $4 million a launch eventually. So you see where it's going. He's removing all the barriers. That's what Elon does. He removes barriers and then builds the thing to really take full advantage of those barriers being removed. That's why I think it's phenomenal. Anyway, guys, I got to get out of here with my kids. Thanks for letting me rant and ramble. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Maybe a couple of you later in the Power Hour if you're going to join in. Other than that, yeah, I'll see you Monday. And look at that, market up 0.6%. Doing pretty good here. Yeah, like I said, loosely bullish. Our Tesla up 2% today. So Nugget. Yeah, Rob, let's look at Nugget. Sorry, I was ranting. Yeah, Nugget broke. Similar with gold. Similarly with gold. Oh, the Nuggets. So Nugget, I've noticed, kind of precedes the gold move a little bit. We had a nice little move here. Is that a pocket pivot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not quite a pocket pivot, but an 8-day pocket pivot on Nugget. So could loosely be buyable. But what you have is a NASDAQ rallying towards all-time highs and gold getting higher. I don't know who's going to win that. Maybe they both run simultaneously. I don't know. Yeah, 18% to the downside there is pretty aggressive. Of course, this is a 3 times ETF. That's your best stop right there at this stage of the game. So, all right, guys, I got to get out of here, deal with the kids. I'll see y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend.